Got it. So I think now we will proceed with the working we did had a small audio trouble, so after we do this corner of this space, I would be very very tempted to go back to our first sculpture just to make sure that everybody will be able to hear more about what it was. So on this note, let us make a small sound check.
There is no sound.
Everybody will be able to hear more about what it was.
Okay, we're getting something.
So on this note, let us make a small sound check.
There is no sound.
Everybody will be able to hear more about sound check.
There is no sound.
There.
Everybody will be able to hear more.
Cool. There is sound, so false alarm, but we have to cover the first sculpture again. Right, so this beautiful piece of art is actually AI generated sex toys. Wow! Like, have you ever seen AI generated sex toys before? This is just crazy. So this piece of art is created by Patchifili and Thomas Harrington Ravel. So, founded by London-based creative technologist Alice Stewart, Patchifili Tech is a sex, tech, and education studio. Their flagship product is a DIY vibrator kit that teaches the principles of electronics, coding, and customization. Patchifili Tech mission is to demystify tech and encourage self-exploration by giving people the tools to better connect with their bodies and creative minds. Self-trained in both fields of animation and music, Thomas Harrington Ravel is an experienced multidisciplinary generalist, animator, and composer. So let's get a bit closer. Like, these shapes are extremely interesting. So we would love to speak to Alice afterwards about this. We're definitely gonna have like a post-mortem type of event after this whole burn week. But yeah, I would love to know how many designs and images AI has been given in its database to come up with this really interesting and weird designs. Like, yeah, like the shapes of them, aren't they fascinating? This is very interesting. Like, yeah, I could clearly see that being used in the real world, I have to say. Whereas, for example, um, objects like this are a little bit more abstract and may not be necessarily as easy to use if they were taken into the reality, but it's very exciting. It's very exciting that AI can generate such things and that results are so fascinating, right? So this sculpture here is a piece by Valdas Neurovirtual, who is a digital 3D artist from Vilnius, Lithuania, graduated in Electronics and Information Faculty at Vilnius College and Contemporary Sculpture Department of Vilnius Arts Academy. Valdas works as a freelancer, 3D modeler, digital sculptor, interested in exploring and interacting with consciousness through digital technologies. Neuron Ritual, which is essentially the sculpture that we are looking on right now, it's a multidimensional, anti-perceptive ping-pong code of imagination 3D sculpture. So yeah, this is very ritualistic piece, and it definitely reminds me of some tribal cultures. And in fact, this whole concept of Burning Man, and especially of our camp, was to join the tribe of people who live in not even people, it's more like cyborgs who live in a post-apocalyptic future and are building this community that are revitalizing Earth with innovative technologies. And it actually like resemble a totem of this tribe. I think it's really beautiful piece of art, and if you get closer to it, you can see the details, how it has been done and created. It went through some optimization to be able to be placed in the VR world, like all 3D have to be compressed. But as you can see, it's still very detailed and it's very beautiful. All right. So let's go to our next piece. So this is a very interesting one. These are actually 3D scans of real garments. So our dear collaborator Yiling, she created these garments as a part of her collection, which she was working on in during the lockdown, and she submitted them to us in such a cool and unusual way as a 3D prints. I think it's a very cool and unique way of approaching the fashion industry. So Yiling Zhao is a multimedia artist and a designer with a focus primarily on analog practices before the 2020 quarantine. Adopting to the sweeping changes of exhibition space, Yiling showcases selected garments from her Spring-Summer 20 collection for the first time in 3D. So big shout out to you, Yiling, if you're watching us right now. I think the garments came out super cool and super amazing. Like, considering that we had like big limitations with polygons and textures, they still came out really detailed. Like if you look at it, you can see all the creases of garments where they were supposed to be. And you can even see the texture of the material at the bottom, like all the threads, they came out so real and so detailed. And even this little crease. Look at this one as also, like the texture is just so real. It's mind-bending. Also, these garments reflect on the idea of tribalism and apocalyptic future. As I know this is a mannequin, but the way how it's been scanned, it actually resembles like a cyborg body with some screws. It's really cool. We all can only wish we had more processing power on the platform to be able to showcase uh, objects with higher poly counts and with higher textures. Right. So now, guys, let's follow me to the art gallery. And here we need to just be a little bit mindful that after every time we enter the portal and then we come back to the main world, we will be spawned at the entrance. So when we are coming back and we are spawned there, let's all go back independently to the next portal. Just use that as the meeting point. Okay? Isaac, are you joining us? So, our first art gallery is a gallery by Loa, who is actually he didn't give us really detailed explanation of their art, but I will talk in a few words. But I want to read this beautiful description of the series of paintings that we're going to see. So, as children, our bedrooms are our sanctuary, a place to rest and study. They also act as stage for our imagination, transporting us into faraway places. As adults, our bedrooms are a destination for sex, sleep, and dreams. Our inner sanctum, but for others, the bedroom, can be a place filled with unwanted thoughts, loneliness, nightmares, sexual predators, and sleepless nights that leave us feeling uneasy, or even terrified. So, Loab is essentially a pink bear that is traveling the world and creating a series of artworks based on their explorations. And yeah, so if you walk around East London, you would see a lot of stickers with Pink Bear. And if you do get to notice them, that is Loab. So Loab is using photography and painting as a main tools of expression, and also recently started exploring 3D and stepping into augmented reality. So on this note, follow me into the portal and let's see his art. All right. Excellent. So You can spend some time here, guys, just checking out the paintings, and I will stop next to each of them to make sure that everybody is able to see them from the stream. And once we are ready, we can go back to the main world. So let's start from this one. So you guys already saw this painting as we were approaching the gallery space, which is very beautiful. I believe it's oil on canvas or acrylic. I'm not entirely sure, but it's very beautiful. It's also very detailed. It actually has a lot of photographic and hyper-realistic lines. It's very beautiful. So the one a little bit further, it's also a painting, which you may not necessarily see at first. It may look like a photograph. It's so hyper-real and so beautiful. So this is the series, I think, called Bedtime Stories. And yeah, it's only one of the series from the Pinkback narratives. There is so much more other pieces of art that you should check out. So if you go to Luap's Instagram or Facebook or website, you will be able to find out more. That's another painting. Again, I'm always getting mind blown by the hyper-realist abilities of painters when they apply them in their art. As a painter myself, I'm more using abstract ways of expressing my thoughts, but I've always been fascinated by techniques of recreating reality in such a delicate and beautiful ways. So this, on the contrary, is actually a photograph that you can see. Is also part of the same series, but you can clearly see that it doesn't have the same brushes that the paintings do, but also a good explanation of how realistic and photographic other paintings are. I love the color scheme, definitely on Raspberry Dream Labs brand. Yeah, it's very beautiful. What I like about it is, of course, apart from the color scheme, is that it recreates the photograph, but also like small elements such as drops of paint. They make it so abstract and at the same time realistic. I really love this combination of two styles in one. Okay, let's go to the other side. Okay, this is a photograph. And I actually know one of the models, which is just there. And I even think I know when this photograph was taken. Yeah, it's really cool. So Pink Bear is exploring different dimensions and different places in a sexy bedroom, which is right now more a bathroom, but Pink Bear is unstoppable. And that's another photograph, which is really beautiful. I would also like to point out, for those who think that these artworks have to be censored and they are violating community guidelines, I would like to point out that the actual genitals have been blurred out. And if you look back also at the artwork over there, you can also see that the artist blurred out genitals. So I mean, I have to say that measures were taken up front, you know, and with the whole nipple situation is like a different debate that I can talk about for a very long time. But right now we're enjoying artworks. So that's another art photograph that is a part of the series, which is also very beautiful. And yeah, no, not the last one, one more. That's another photograph. And the one on the right is a painting that you can see has been painted from the photograph. So it is actually also featuring those tribal hats from Paul Cummings. Yeah, so Paul also creates cool artworks and cool sculptures, and is very fascinated by Oriental and tribal topics. Okay, so on this note, shall we guys go to the, oh hey there, shall we now go to the main space and then move to the next portal? All right, excellent. So if everybody wants to follow me back to where we were, oops, don't get stuck in the walls. All right, so now we're going to enter the world of Oskar Krajewski. So Oskar is a founder of a platform for artists and like-minded people called Art Recyclism. His mission is to promote sustainability, recycling, and art made of non-biodegradable waste. Oskar Krajewski and his vital team create complex and futurist sculptures using light, sound, and latest technologies, conveying the important message about the future of our planet. So, if everybody's ready to dive in, let's go. All right. So, let's start from that side. So I have to do a bit of a pre-story for this art because you might not necessarily know what you're looking at. But in fact, Oskar created a large series of sculptures that are creating these surreal landscapes from waste, which is just mind-blowing. So the real size of these sculptures, they actually they vary between like half and 1.5 square meter size. I've been so lucky to experience some of them in the real world, and it's just mind blowing, I have to say. The detail, like you can see, this is just like a small piece. It's a small square that has been photographed and blown up. Except I don't think I have a megaphone right in here, but yeah. I'm not in this world. Yeah, so yeah, it's really fascinating, and this whole landscape, it really reminds me of some futuristic colonies that can be inhabiting planets in the future. So let's look at this one. And also, all of them are also equipped with sound in the real life, and with lots of LED that are glowing and highlighting different elements. I really wish we were able to put up the actual 3D sculptures of Oskar in this world, but I mean, I don't think we would have enough polygons ever to recreate them. But soon technology should be more friendly towards here. So this is the view from the corner of this crazy universe that you can see. So it's been kept in a glass container, and yeah, so you can come from different angle and check out what's happening at each part. And once again, I want to point out the detail, like just check out how small these elements are. If you think of this square being about half square meter, just understand for a second. Just try to imagine the scale of it. It's crazy. I'm a big fan. So this is another close-up of this unbelievable universe that Oskar is creating. You can see those all small little details. They're just like resembling like civilizations in an apocalyptic world. It's exactly what we are conveying in our camp. Yeah, so where are you? Yeah, so he's using recycled materials, recycled electronics. So if you can see, there are some cables, some wires, some motherboards. So he's using recycling waste to create these unbelievable landscapes. Very beautiful. All right, so that's another sculpture. You can see. But yeah, if anyone ever comes across exhibition with Oscar's art, I would definitely recommend everyone to go and visit and see them for real, because all these photos, they will never tell the full story, never. I took a cheeky photo of everybody. Yeah, it's unbelievable. The amount of precision and attention that has been placed in creation of this world is just outstanding. Beautiful. All right, folks, are we ready to go to the next world?
Yeah.
Awesome. Follow me, and I see you by the next portal. Okay, so this is Serge Hive. I'm a really big fan of Serge work. I think it's super cool, and I've been following him on Instagram for a very long time. Serge Hive. Yeah, I'm super excited to have him here. And so Serge, he is a digital collage artist from Russia. His work uses recognizable objects in whimsical ways by creating a dystopian universe and upsetting the natural balance. His works tend to critique society and modern technology and open many conversations. All right, so let's dive into Serge's world. These collages, they're just so cool. Like, they're so delicate, but at the same time so perfect and so controversial. I simply love it so much. It was a challenge to pick the 10 out of 20. I wish we had all of them exhibited here. So definitely check out Serge Instagram. That's where he has most of his artworks in a public access. Please do check them out and follow him, because yeah, these artworks are just way too cool. And I love the combination of old painting with with the portraits and images of female and models, but also with like a strong animal theme and technology. Like all these elements are strongly present in his work, and every time they're just used in such innovative and unique ways. How cool is that? I don't even know which one is my favorite. Oh, hello. It's not time for cyber sex just yet. Out to the tour. Check out this one. This is just so perfect. Like the composition, the background, the shape, the pose. This is super cool. Like I've been exploring collages myself at some point, but it takes time to get the right shapes to fit the right images. Yeah, like it's really cool. You've seen this one already, which was our main one that we had in our hallway. This is a nice reminder of Magritte at the bottom, the man in the hat. I'm sure it's not that artwork, but it's a nice connection. I'm sure you know the surrealist René Magritte. This is so beautiful. And again, as I mentioned, like Serge is using a lot of repeating elements through his art. But as you can see, like the brain, the desert, the snake tails, TVs, they are all creating completely different narratives in each collage. None of them are similar, even though the elements are repeating. Yeah, this is one of my favorites. Well, probably because it has octopus to it. Uh, but yeah, this reminds me of some like agents of reality that are chasing you. And they have this octopus legs and a snake tail. Super cool. I'm really interested to find out where the head comes from and what is the origin of it. Very interesting. Great. Do we need more time or are we ready for the next?
Let's see the next one.
I'm ready.
Awesome. Let's do this. All right, so our next world that we're going to visit is a world by Lucy Briscoe-Rimmer. So this is one of the worlds that we are actually keeping private, and we are keeping them only for whitelisted individuals, just because her art is a little bit more explicit than the others, and we understand that may not be quite suitable for younger visitors. So I believe all of you folks been already added to the whitelist. So if you don't, my apologies, but it should work fine. So in case if you're not able to enter, let's meet here after we do the tour there. All right, let's go there. right, so Lucy is creating these paintings. There are depicting different scenarios and close-ups from sexual acts, and they look quite realistic. But in fact, she's using really wide brush strokes. They are creating this cool effects because if you look from far, yeah, they are recreating quite depicting imagery. But when you get close, they become quite abstract. In fact, like you don't necessarily see all the details, but at the same time, it's very picturesque. I love it. I love the scale as well. Seeing these paintings in such a large scale is it's very impressive. Oh, sorry, Isaac. He's a little bit underage today. Oh no. But yeah, you can also see how the brush strokes and paints actually are visible inside VR, which is super beautiful. Like you can see the texture. Really cool. All right. Gonna take another cheeky photo. Cool. Are we ready for next? Follow me, my dreamers. Oh no, I'm falling. Okay, so our next journey is going to be to Trippy Yogi, and we're gonna experience multiple rooms in that world. So I will have to do some technical manipulations once we enter each room, so please try to follow me as we go in there. So, Trippy Yogi is a digital dream builder, co-creating a more peaceful world through art and technology. Whether architecting new spaces in the metaverse, moving meditations, or digital designs, each creation comes from a place of peace and love. All right, let's go to Trippy Yogi. Okay, so guys, let's start from the yellow room, and I'm going to. Oh, I'm not going to. No, I will. Sorry. What the confusion. Yeah, so we just need to double check that we have all videos running. Yeah. Yeah, so we're gonna step into different rooms and we're gonna encounter different animations and sculptures that Trip Yogi created in this little world for himself. So, yeah, so the artworks are really cool, and I like that Trippy Yogi is using such an abstract way of depicting sexuality that not necessarily like resonates with any genitals at all, but at the same time it's juicy, it's tasty, and it's suggestive, correct, but in a very playful manner, without unnecessary misconceptions that some people may have. All right, so as we walk through the rooms, I'm gonna have to enable and disable videos just because performance on devices is not always identical, and we need to be mindful of users who are using Oculus Go because those devices are mobile. All right, now let's follow me to the green room. So here we can see this really cool sculpture of two hands and this really interesting video. It's called Teamwork. I love it so much. Really cool. I like this delicate language that he's using in his art. Like, it's just so cool. Hey, welcome, join our world tour. We are going around the galleries that have been forgotten and not seen by others. All right, so now we are going to go to the blue room. All right, now we're gonna go to blue room. I wish you guys were your microphone was picking up in the live stream, but unfortunately not. It's only picking my voice because we had to find a way how to live stream from my eyes in the last minute when I decided to change the talk. So this is the blue room.
Oh.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Oh, can you do hearts again? I'm making like a nice photo. Yay. One more time. Yes, excellent. Woohoo! Beautiful. Yeah, space like this. Really cool. All right, and now from there we are going to go to the purple room.
Whoa. It's a foxy unicorn.
Exactly, a foxy unicorn.
Foxy unicorn.
Just look at this video, it's just so surreal and I love it. It can go continuously on and on and on.
Sensory inception.
Exactly. So I'm gonna repeat what you guys say just so our viewers on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch are able to hear. So yeah, it's a sensory inception. And this unicorn, like, isn't it cool? Like, so nice.
Whoa.
Grabbing tits of a unicorn?
You only get so many opportunities in life.
I know. Take it all. Don't deny yourself in anything. The Burning Man ends in a day. The last chance to grab unicorn's tits. Well, maybe it's not a tail, maybe it's a butt plug. Who knows? All right, so now we are going to go to the pink room. Let me quickly make a quick switch over. Okay, we are ready for the pink room. I need to disable the other rooms. By the way, I want to give a small shout out that after this tour, we are having a small difficulty with these videos at the moment, but it's going to be more or less optimized. So you should be able to turn and off videos by yourself when you enter this space. Again, I admire the surreal and gentle way of depicting erotic imagery that Trippy Yogi is doing. Like, it's just so cool. Yeah. So playful and subtle at the same time, and it's just like, and it just makes your mind go wild and imagine things. It's so beautiful. Yeah, big shout out to Trippy Yogi. We are big fans, and thank you so much for contributing your art to our world. It's such an honor and pleasure. Stay guys where you are. I'm taking another cheeky photo. Excellent. All right, now we are going to go to the orange room. So no videos here, but not less beautiful sculpture. Unfortunately, I'm not in position to tell you guys the story of this art because I've been donated it as it is, but I don't even think it needs description. Like, it is what it is, and you just need to admire it for how cool it is. But yeah.
So grand. It's like massive.
Yeah, the scale is super cool. I love it. That's what I love about VR. You can like play with scale so much. Okay, and yeah, guys, on this note, we are going to move to the next world because we are already over time and we only did one half. So we can come back to the world exploration after our talk. Let's catch up with Josephine, which is Sumitra, that is going to give her talk today and see how she's doing. And if we still have a bit of time, we're gonna carry on. Yeah, trying to grab the rainbow tears. I wish I was crying in rainbow too. From happiness only. Hey. Another cheeky photo. Nice. Alrighty, let's go back to the yellow room and get teleported to the camp. Folks, I'm standing in the same corridor near Trippy Yogi. There is one more portal to go in this wing, and we will find out if we are ready for the talk in the meantime. So if you want to find me here.
Oh, did you get a megaphone?
Yeah.
Oh.
All right. So, yeah, it's funny with microphone because I gave myself presenter rights only in this world. I ran out of time to give myself presenter rights in the others, so hence you can't hear me as well. Yeah, so when we're gonna go to Chematica Studio World, I just want to let everybody know that there is no portal to go back because that world has been created and left in a public access from the old account to which we no longer have access. So that's why I'm not able to put a teleport there, because that world currently is a ghost world and doesn't belong to anyone. So to go back, you just have to go back into your menu and choose the Cyber Dreams world, and I will see you. And I will see you actually in the main square, because from there we're gonna move to the different wing. So, right, let's go to Chematica Studio. Yeah, I wish there was sound from my headset. Once again, guys, I'm sorry that we only got this whole thing working half an hour before my talk, and the sound is not the best, and you're not hearing the sound from the experience. But that's and yeah, but you can hear us here, but I'm also live streaming my point of view right now to YouTube and Facebook, and it's not picking up the sound from inside VR. It's only picking up the sound from my microphone on my computer. Um, yeah. So, but again, guys who are watching right now the live stream from my eyes, that's another reason for you to attend this world in VR and actually experience this 360 performance that in fact was actually shot in 4 different rooms. So each point of view is taken from a different room. And of course, in VR, the resolution of 360 has been compressed a little bit, but I was really lucky to experience their performances in real life. And I have to say, it was one of the most magical things I've ever seen performed in real life. Like, what these guys are creating is insane. Like, they are completely blurring borders between reality and imagination. They're using light and motion and visual and sound effects in such a clever way that it just creates illusion of multidimensional things happening in front of you. Yeah, this performance transcendent. So this is the older version of it, but there is a new one that these guys were showing in Lisbon, and I've been lucky to see it. It was just like so stunning. I actually felt hypnotized for real, and yeah, it's very special. Like if you ever see anything by Chematica Studio, definitely check it out. Like it's just. Yeah, I love these guys so much, and a big shout out to Maria and Nestor, who are the founders. I love them so much. They're amazing.
Like, I'm pretty okay. It looks like like vintage TV. Is that actually intentional or just
Yeah, because we had to compress it. That is why.
so ideally this should be more like 50
Yeah, well, in ideal world, they are 4K. That's how I got them from artists in the first place. But because of alt space compression requirements, we had to make them a little bit smaller. Sorry, guys, I'm taking cheesy photos of you as we are here. Nice. All right, and I'm gonna take one selfie as well. Oh, okay. So, shall we now go back to the main camp and check on Sumitra? And if she still gives us a bit of time, go to the next wing. And while we get there, I want to talk a little bit more about Magdalena, which is a huge sculpture on the entrance, just because we had some audio issues when we arrived, and our viewers were not able to hear that. Okay, so going back to the main world. Yeah, so that is the sculpture that we missed in our first introduction. So as I mentioned, this sculpture is pretty much exact replica of the real world sculpture that Alex Leva, who is an artist behind this installation, created in a desert. So you can kind of see where my avatar ends and how tall it is.
There you are.
And yeah, so it's a little bit smaller in reality than it is here, but we try to recreate the size as much as possible. So Alex Leva is a Mexican artist focusing on large-scale installations using light and reflective materials in open spaces. Magdalena is a shape-shifting ephemeral installation in the Sonoran Desert. Its objective is to explore the field of view and raise awareness of the notion of presence as a holistic experience. So yeah, it's really cool. And if you go, guys, to Alex Leva's Instagram and website, you will be able to see how the sculpture looks in the actual real world desert. And it's such a cool opportunity to take something that belongs in the real desert to the virtual desert. I think it's really nice that we are exhibiting it here. Yeah, so in reality, this sculpture is made out of reflective materials, steel, and of course, light-emitting carcase. Okay, so I'm gonna make a small walk around it just so our viewers can see it from multiple ends. So here you can also see the reflection from side to side, which is a little bit jiggly and laggy because we are in VR, but it's capturing it nicely and communicates clearly what artists intended to make. Okay. So let's quickly see if we are ready for the talk. Hey guys, so just checking in with you. Oh, you are using PC and I can hear my echo. Could you please use your headphones? Yeah. And also a small question. So are you ready to start now or shall we do it in a bit?
No, it's okay. I'm just putting my
All right, because we were doing a word tour, so if you need a bit more time, we can give you that time. Up to you.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just checking if we should carry on the world tour afterwards, or if you need more time, we can carry on the world tour.
No, that's fine.
Yeah.
It's much more about it's like a podcast for me now because I don't have hair and I'm only looking at you and like it's just about talking, so I can start now.
Okay, so in that case, guys, we are going to carry on our world tour in about 45 minutes. Actually, no, later, because we still have a talk by Alex Kleter, who is going to take over after Josephine. And after that, we have a crazy lineup of DJs that everybody is very welcome to experience. But I'll make sure that we do create another live stream to capture the right wing. And if you didn't manage to see it in VR, of course, you will be able to see it through this recording. So I'm gonna jump out of my headset right now because we are streaming from my eyes, and I'm gonna give the leads to our camera crew so they're gonna capture what's happening here out of my head. All right, so we'll be in a second.